stop what you're doing for just a few minutes, because if you or someone you love has been living with that constant ringing, buzzing, or hissing in your ears, what I'm about to share could completely change how you understand it. Welcome to True Age Wellness, where we talk about real science for healthy aging. The problem: most doctors hear ringing ears and hand you a pamphlet about noise damage. Maybe they suggest a white noise machine, and then you go home, still ringing. But after 27 years in medicine and working with thousands of patients over 60, I can tell you with confidence that ringing is not just a hearing problem. It is your body sending you a nutritional distress signal. A landmark study found that over 50 million Americans experience chronic ear ringing, and nearly 68% of those cases are linked to measurable nutritional deficiencies. Not noise, not just aging. Nutritional deficiencies. Zinc. Let's start with something most people never connect to their ears: zinc. Your inner ear, specifically the cochlea and the auditory cortex, contains one of the highest concentrations of zinc of any tissue in the entire human body. That alone tells you how critical this mineral is for hearing. Zinc acts as a communication facilitator between your auditory nerve cells. It helps regulate the neurotransmitters responsible for sending sound signals to your brain. When zinc is deficient, those nerve cells become overexcited and overstimulated, and the result is that phantom ringing that simply won't stop. One study found that after 2 months of zinc supplementation, 82% of patients with confirmed zinc deficiency reported measurable improvement in their tinnitus symptoms. Another analysis of over 1,800 tinnitus cases found that chronic sufferers had zinc blood levels averaging 24% lower than people without tinnitus. After age 70, zinc absorption from food drops by nearly 35% due to reduced stomach acid. Your body becomes less and less capable of extracting this vital mineral, even from a healthy diet. B12. Now let's talk about vitamin B12. And this one surprises almost everyone. B12 is the raw material your body uses to build and maintain myelin, the protective sheath that wraps around every nerve fiber, including your auditory nerve. Think of it like insulation around an electrical wire. When B12 is deficient, that insulation begins to break down. Nerve signals become garbled and misfiring. And in your auditory nerve, the nerve that carries sound from your ear to your brain, those distorted signals quite literally sound like ringing. Though a major study examining tinnitus patients found that 47% had below normal B12 levels. More importantly, patients who received B12 supplementation saw tinnitus severity drop by over 50% in the majority of cases. After age 50, up to 30% of people stop producing enough intrinsic factor, a protein your stomach makes that is absolutely required for B12 absorption. By age 75, researchers estimate nearly 40% of older adults are functionally B12 deficient, even if they eat meat and dairy regularly. The problem is not what you're eating. The problem is what your body can no longer absorb. One deficiency. But the single most overlooked deficiency I've seen in my clinic is vitamin D. Most people don't realize that vitamin D isn't really a vitamin. It's a hormone, a master regulatory hormone that influences over 2,000 genes, including the systems that control calcium balance and nerve function deep inside your inner ear. Your cochlea depends on a precise balance of calcium ions to generate the electrical signals that create hearing, and that entire system is regulated by vitamin D. When your levels drop, calcium regulation breaks down. Nerve cells begin firing spontaneously and uncontrollably, and what you hear is that relentless, maddening ringing. Research on over 700 tinnitus patients found 82% had insufficient vitamin D. One study showed deficiency increased the risk of chronic tinnitus by 69%, and a clinical intervention proved that correcting it led to meaningful improvement in 60% of patients within just 3 months. I had a patient, Dorothy, 79 years old, from Portland, Oregon. 11 years of constant ringing. Doctors told her to accept it. When I tested her, her vitamin D was critically low. Alongside deficiencies in magnesium, B12 and zinc, we built a comprehensive nutritional protocol together. At 5 months, she called my office and said the ringing had gone from a constant roar to a background whisper. She had rejoined her church choir, something she hadn't done in years. It is never too late. Why seniors are most at risk. After age 70, your skin's ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight drops by approximately 75%. You can sit outside every single day and still be profoundly deficient. Researchers estimate that 70 to 80% of adults over 65 are operating with dangerously low levels. And here's what most people miss. Vitamin D requires magnesium to activate in your body, and it must be paired with vitamin K2 to ensure calcium goes to the right places. Your bones and inner ear cells, not your arteries. What to do? Ask your doctor specifically for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. I aim for my patients to be between 60 and 80 nanograms per milliliter. Most seniors need between 4,000 and 6,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily to reach that range. Always take it with your fattiest meal. Always pair it with K2 and magnesium. And please do not begin any supplement regimen without speaking to your doctor first. Insist on getting your actual blood levels tested, not just told you're in the normal range. The ringing in your ears is not a life sentence. It is a message from your body, and now you know what it might be saying. If this video helped you, subscribe to True Age Wellness and drop your age in the comments. Tell me how long you've been dealing with this. I read every single comment because your story matters. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.